Hey there, everybody. Eric Worre here, and welcome to another conversation with top earners in our profession. Actually, one top earner in this conversation. His name is David Imonitie. And because I've heard it pronounced 5 different ways,
right.
He finally corrected me and, educated me. Imonitie.
You got it.
And he's a phenomenally successful distributor. You've been involved in network marketing for how long?
It's my 16th year.
16 years. Mm-hmm. So I know a little bit about your story, right. But what I'd like to do is go all the way back.
Okay.
You're still a pretty young man. How old are you?
37
years old.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're feeling like, old man is coming to get you. Using any mascara on your beard yet?
No, not yet.
No, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So 37 years old. Where'd you grow up?
I actually, I was born in the U.S., in Missouri. Both my parents went to college at Northwest Missouri State. My dad was there on a tennis scholarship, and my mom was there on a basketball scholarship. And they had me here in the States, but maybe about 6 weeks old, moved back to Nigeria. So I lived in Nigeria for the first 10 years of my life. Yeah.
So where?
Lagos. Right there in Lagos. Yeah, my dad played professional tennis, and so I grew up.
Were you a tennis? Did you become a tennis player?
I did play.
Are you any good?
I was good enough to go into college.
Wow.
Yeah. Get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm. So you went back to Lagos.
Yeah.
I've been to Lagos and Abuja.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I found it just a fascinating experience.
How'd you like the food?
The food was fine.
All right. A bit spicy.
Yeah.
All right.
I will tell you a couple things that struck me. Everybody was pounding into my head that there's a lot of white people that get kidnapped when they go to Nigeria. So don't wear your fancy jewelry. They'll chop your hand off. And don't if you bring your fancy luggage, you get like a duffel bag and all this stuff. So anyway, I go and have just an extraordinary time.
Yeah.
But I'm a little nervous.
Of course.
So I'm doing my first event, and they got billboards up.
Right.
Here's this $1 million earner who's going to be at this hotel at this time.
Right.
So what they didn't tell me was what happens with electricity over there.
Mm-hmm.
So
NEPA.
Yeah. So I'm just doing my presentation. Electricity goes, zoom, and I'm like, oh, here it is. They're coming for me. So electricity goes out like every hour and a half. Every couple hours it goes out.
Depending on where you are.
Whoa, and then it comes back up again.
Right.
Anyway, so I remember my best memory was we did this event in this event hall somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and they had a couple thousand people at this training event. I'm training, doing this stuff. Mm-hmm. And next to it was a Nigerian wedding.
Wow, yeah.
And I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Oh yeah, it's a big party.
It was kings and queens.
Oh yeah.
Proud people, majestic. Mm-hmm. The colors were unbelievable. Yeah. Everybody was beautiful. Mm-hmm. It was just fascinating. The music was great.
We are an incredible people. That is for sure. Very passionate, hardworking, very smart too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my little Nigeria story. I'd love to go back. I haven't been back since that trip, but a lot of friends still over there from that trip. They gave me the traditional outfit, the whole deal. I still have it.
I love to see you in that.
It's blue. It's awesome. Anyway, take me back to like 7 years old. Mm-hmm. How would people describe you?
It was all about tennis.
Really? So you're an athlete.
Yeah, it was definitely all about that. I started playing at like 11 months. My mom said I picked up a racket, was hitting it against the wall, 11 months old. So it was tennis, it was books, and it was church. All right, because both my parents are pastors. So I was in church.
My dad's a pastor too. I grew up in the church.
Okay, good. Yeah.
My uncle's a pastor. My dad's a pastor. My sister's a pastor. My other sister's a pastor.
Okay. I tell people I was in church 8 days a week.
Yeah, no, I know it. I know it, because you got Sunday morning, multiple services, you got Sunday night, you got Monday prayer service, you got Wednesday, you got Thursday youth service. I get it. I was there.
So that was my whole life, but very playful. but very loving and I just love people. Honestly, I think that was there
Good
from
student?
the start. Okay student. I would say B's and A's a little bit, but it wasn't like this honor student. That was my older sister. My older sister was a smart one.
So you put your passion into sport.
Yeah, yeah.
She put her passion into study.
Into study,
a little
yes.
bit more. But if you wanted to, you probably could have turned it into
Probably
A's
coulda.
if that became your thing.
Yeah.
So your dad was a pro player.
Yeah, yeah.
So
250 in the world.
Wow.
His best ranking.
So what kind of an impact did that have, having a professional athlete as a father?
You know, obviously you can't connect the dots. Look, you know, you can only do it looking back, right? So I can look back now, and I could see the discipline that was instilled in me from the very get-go. The tenacity.
In what way?
Because he was very consistent. I think discipline is being consistent. I mean, he practiced every single day. He was very maniacal in everything that he did. It was 100 backhands. You know, it was 200 backhands, and it was the same shot over and over and over. You know, 200 forehands, cross court, down the line. So there was all this structure to my life. There was structure in everything that we actually did. We ate at a certain time. We ate all our food before we had meat. You didn't drink juice. You had water with your meat. I mean, everything was really, really structured growing up.
And the food part was for the physical discipline of it? Was it the spiritual thing? Or?
Well, the food part was just, you know, you had your breakfast, all right, then you went to school,
Yeah.
and then you had your lunch at school,
Yeah.
all right, and then you came back home, you had dinner, and you went to bed. You were in bed about 9 p.m., 9:30 at the latest, and you did it all over again.
Structure.
Discipline.
Was there comfort in the structure? Was there?
Well, it's all you know.
Did you ever rebel against it?
Of course.
And how did that work out?
Well, the rebellion probably didn't start until I came here. Right? Right.
And you came here around 10?
10 years old. Yeah, we moved to New York, Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were there for about 6 months.
Dad still playing tennis?
My dad had retired by now.
Okay. What was he doing then?
And he stayed back in Nigeria.
Really?
And it was just my mom and my two sisters. And
Wow.
we lived with my mom's cousin, his wife, and his son in a 2-bedroom apartment.
What caused the move?
My mom wanted to come back here.
Ah.
She wanted to raise her children here. She felt like, and I thank her every day for it, because she knew that us being here would create a better life for us versus there in Nigeria. And, you know, obviously that's proven to be true. So, yeah.
So you say rebellion started when you got back here. Tell me about that.
Well, let's see, 10 years old, and I come to this country, and my accent's different. My clothing is different.
You don't have a semblance of it anymore.
Not now, but I did.
Did you consciously kind of like?
Oh yeah, you have to
weed it
to
out?
survive. Yeah,
I come from Minnesota,
right?
And there's a definite,
there is.
Fargo, Minnesota. So I've tried to have my like newscaster diction, so I can
reach everybody. Right, exactly.
You did the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you have a conscious choice to do that?
I didn't even know it was conscious, but you had to be in order to survive, because you got picked on every day for the clothes you were wearing and the way you talked. And you see my last name, you said you've heard it 5 different names.
Yeah.
So, you know, homeroom, the teacher has to announce your name. So I'm just sitting there just waiting for the eyes, and I know they're about to butcher my name again. So it was so bad. One time I got called David Immigrant. That's how bad it got.
Wow.
Yeah. So for a long time, I think one teacher said Imonitie. I said, yep, that's it.
Close
Imonitie.
enough.
We're going to go with Imonitie. So for decades, I was Imonitie.
You just gave up.
I just gave up. I said, all right, I'm David Imonitie. And then it was 2010. I was in Atlanta at a convention, and I went on stage, and I said, I want to just correct everybody. It's not your fault. It's my fault. But the correct way to say my name is David Imonitie. So people in college, when they see me now, they're like,
what?
Who's Imonitie? We know Imonitie. I'm like, no, not Imonitie. Imonitie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Dad's in Nigeria and you're here with your mom, did you feel like you had an opportunity to be able to start flexing the muscle a little bit, or what?
Well, all I wanted to do was play basketball. Right? That's it. I didn't even want to play tennis anymore, because I fell in love with Michael Jordan while I was in Nigeria.
Who didn't?
I got a hold of this tape. Michael Jordan Come Fly With Me, 1988, 1989. And I just fell in love with it. So I wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. So my whole goal in life to come here to America was to make it to the NBA. So any trouble I would get into, I was okay. I wasn't like pro level or anything like that. But everything that I did was geared towards that. So now school was not that important to me anymore. Nothing was important to me anymore other than basketball. So any trouble that I would get into with my mom was because I would go out and play basketball, and I wouldn't come back till, you know, really late at night because I was just playing. I just loved the game. Yeah.
So did you ever consider yourself entrepreneurial? What was the first, you know, did you do any entrepreneurial type things as a young man?
My first job was I was 14 years old, and I was a stock boy for Floor Shine. I don't know if you remember that shoe store.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'll never forget my first boss. He was an Indian gentleman, short guy, and he was a hard knock. But I remember some of the things that he would say. He was very disciplined, very organized. He wanted things a certain way. But entrepreneurship probably did not come into my life until Cutco.
Really?
Yeah. I was about maybe 16, 17, and I got the letter, and they said $12.95 an hour. I was like, what? I said, selling knives? I said, okay, I'll do it. And I went to the training, and I find out that, oh, okay, you're really selling knives. So I started doing appointments and whatnot, and sold some knives because my dad now was here now, and he had some tennis clients, and they were pretty well off.
Was he coaching then?
Yeah, he was coaching. So I said, okay, I can sell these knives to these rich people, right? So I started out with that and was, you know, going to school and started working in retail. I worked at Express Clothing. Back then it was Structure. So I think that's where I got customer service, being able to relate to people, talk to people, because that's what you have to do in retail. I can look back and see certain things that happened in my life that brought me to where it is that I am today. I even worked in a company called Harker Research, where you had to make phone calls all day long and have people do surveys on a radio station that they listen to. You had to get them to listen to like 30 seconds of each song, 10 songs, and they had to rate them. So imagine making, like, they give you a whole genealogy list, right? And you have to make phone calls 4, 5, 6 hours.
Wow.
And I had never done network marketing. And I'll never forget, I was 18 years old, and this guy, Jared Mainberg, I don't know if you know him.
I know Jared.
Yeah, Jared was my first presentation that I ever saw.
Wow.
And he was showing it to my dad, and it was Amway. And he was drawing the circles and all that stuff. Be in business
for yourself.
Yeah, and that was it. And my dad got involved in it, but I didn't know what it was or anything like that. And then it was Excel Communications. Yeah, saw that.
Is that your dad, or you just saw the presentation? You didn't do anything?
I didn't do it. I was like, I'm going to school. And
where did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Shaw University. Okay. In Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah, played tennis over there. And funny enough, I got introduced to prepaid legal while I was in college, but it was $249.
Too much.
Didn't have it. So I didn't get involved then.
And what year was that?
I was 18, so that had to be 01, 02.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, 01, 02. Yeah.
Crazy.
I ended up joining prepaid at 21 years old. That was my first network marketing company, Legal Shield. I know they get mad when you say prepaid.
Yeah. But, great company.
Oh yeah, amazing. Love the people there, and that's why I got my first exposure to Brian and Darnell and
all those
guys. Yeah.
So you get introduced to network marketing. Did you have fast success, or was it?
No.
So talk to me about, like, you know, we don't need to go into company names and all that stuff, but what does the first couple of years look like? You know,
I was when I left school under some strenuous situations.
What happened? There's a story there. I want to hear it.
Yeah, at 20, literally find myself with 2 kids on the way.
Wow.
At 20.
Wow.
And, you know, in my culture, that's a no-no.
The church culture?
Yeah, African culture, church culture, that's a big no-no. And then on top of that, I got into trouble with the law, stealing a TV. So my life is spiraling completely out of control. My mom comes down to Raleigh and says, hey, listen, you have to come back home. You have to come back to Houston. And
Houston now. She moved from New York to Houston.
Yeah, we had moved in 2000 to Houston.
Okay.
So it was a tough decision, but I'm glad I did it because my environment was shaping my life. And I was becoming a product of my environment. So coming back to Houston, that's when I got introduced to networking at a gas station by a frat brother of mine. Just happenstance. I was getting off work late. I saw his license plate. I saw he was a frat brother of mine. And I said hello. And he introduced me to networking.
Wow.
And because of my circumstance, because of what I was going through, I had this do or die mentality into the business. It was a hunger. There was no way I was going to fail. I didn't care how long it was going to take. As a matter of fact, I told myself 4 years.
Okay.
I said, I'm 21 now. By 25, I'll be rich. So I didn't say this is going to happen in a month or 6 months or a year. I gave myself, because I said, well, if it takes 4 years to get a college education, I'm going to do this in 4 years. And first couple of years, my second month, I made $2,500. My second month, so I was rich. So I quit my job. I quit working because everybody was coming in. I wasn't selling them clothes anymore.
Right.
I was talking to them about networking. Right. I was getting 10, 15, 20 numbers a day. And I was like, these people are going to fire me eventually because I'm soliciting and not selling their clothes. So I ended up quitting. And in 2 years, I made a total of maybe $30,000. And I was full time. I was living with my dad, driving his car. My child support was $50 a month. So I'm getting these letters and sometimes I couldn't even pay. But I wasn't going to quit. I got involved in another company. 2 years after my first company, got involved in another one. This was an energy drink company. And people started getting sick off of the energy drink 30 days later. So said I couldn't do that anymore. Swore I would never do network marketing again.
I'm done.
Finished. I was supposed to get rich in my first company.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get rich in my second one. Didn't work. I'm done.
Time's wasting.
And then I tried to join the military.
Wow.
It's interesting, right?
Really?
Yeah. Went and took the test.
For which branch?
Army.
Okay.
And they didn't call me back. The Army did not
So
want me to be all that I could be.
Boy, big mistake on their part.
Right, well, thank God.
Yeah, right?
Thank God they made that mistake.
I don't think I would do well in that environment.
Me neither. So I swore I would never do it. Sat out for 6 months. This guy kept calling me about a travel company. He says, David, everybody's traveling. And I said, no, everybody's not traveling because I'm not traveling.
Right.
So everybody's not traveling. But he hounded me for 6 months and I finally got in and didn't really have any success there either. So now I'm going on about 3 years now in networking, no success. And then something magical took place. This is where I met what I would consider to be my very first mentor. And walked into his home and it looked like Cheesecake Factory. And I'm like, wow, how'd you do this? And he said he did it through networking. You know, he had a Bentley, his wife had a Maserati. And I'm like, wow, this is neat. So now my belief system goes through the roof. It doesn't happen for me right away. 4.5 years in the industry, get involved in an opportunity at the right time, right coaching, right leadership, right environment, and 6 months, 6 figures.
So your first breakthrough is 4.5 years in.
4.5 years in.
Yeah. So the reason why I say that for a couple reasons. Number one is it's typical. I mean, it takes about, and there's exceptions, of course.
We're seeing a lot of those now, though.
Yeah, I know, I get it. But I'm just, if I go through my whole 32 years of being involved in this profession, it usually takes a couple, 2-3 years for the penny to drop.
Yes.
And a person to see it.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, and they decide to be a professional. They decide to do it right. You know, they're kind of tourists hoping to get something for nothing in the meantime.
Right.
But if they hang around long enough, bang, the penny does drop, and then they go. Yeah. I mean, it took me the same kind of thing.
2 to 5 years is what I tell people.
Yeah, I started when I was 22. And the other thing I've come to know, and I'd say this for the young people, anything you do before 30 years old is dress rehearsal.
Wow.
It just is. It's just practice. It's a time for you to screw up and try different things and make mistakes, and you don't put yourself up behind the 8 ball like crazy, but at the same time, don't stress so much.
Right.
I had a conversation with my son who's 22 or 23, just turned 23, and I said, it's okay. It's okay. You got time.
Right.
Have some urgency, yes, but also just know this is all dress rehearsal.
Absolutely.
This is time for you to be able to figure out what you're gonna, what muscle you're gonna flex for the rest of your life. So if you haven't figured it out by mid-30s, be worried.
Yes.
Right. Now you got some urgency. But in the 20s, just chill. It's gonna be fine.
Right.
Well, you've gone on to build huge organizations around the world, made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Helped other people do the same.
Yeah.
Let me ask you some questions. What is your favorite thing about network marketing? After having been involved for 16 years, what do you just love about this?
Well, the same thing I love is the same thing I sometimes don't like.
Of course.
Right. And I love, and I know it's maybe cliche, but I love watching people move from a place of not knowing to knowing, from a place of doubt to believing. I love that transformation. Not just so much the change financial for them, but the change in their mindsets.
Yeah, what's possible.
And yes, what's possible. When a person really starts to believe and starts to see possibilities for their lives, that's the enjoyment for me. That's the addiction for me at this point in my career. What don't I like?
Yeah, that's my next question. What's your least favorite thing? Honesty.
Yes.
Your least favorite thing. If you could wave a magic wand and change it, what would it be?
I would say the lack of humility in this industry. And it's from top to bottom. There are people that are not making any money that lack the humility in order to get to
arrogance?
the top. Yeah, just arrogance or egotistical, not wanting to put themselves in a position where they can learn and really submit to a voice, to a mentor, to a coach, because they think it's somehow makes them less than.
You know what I found out though? It's like the ones who are really doing it, really earning it, really been building it and built a reputation around that, they're really not very arrogant.
No.
It's the ones that are filled up with insecurity, or they hit lightning in a bottle and they did it once and they pretty much know to themselves they couldn't do it again.
Right.
That keep bragging about the stuff that they did 15 years ago, in order to be able to kind of mask that that sense of insecurity that they have inside of their system. Have you noticed the same?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, people kind of, pound their chest about stuff.
I think those ones are more competition driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparison is a
yeah, that's another one.
Is a beast. If you find yourself comparing, because I'm competitive and I can sense that you're competitive. But when I was always competing with other people, I was losing a lot. When I was competing with myself, I wasn't losing because I could always beat myself.
Yeah.
I could beat what I did yesterday. But healthy competition is good. Unhealthy is just like so discouraging. You're watching these people that you feel like you can run circles around them and they're making more money than you and they're growing faster than you. It's so annoying. You know what I mean? These Forrest Gumps walking across the stage. I don't know how I got 3 million people on my team.
Right.
Like, shut up. I know every single person on my team. I'm depressed.
I coach them.
I'm depressed when I look at them. It's like, come on. But I learned to put that in its right perspective.
Right.
And to treat, it's good to push yourself. Anytime you can have something that's a tool to help you perform at a higher level, that's good. But if it starts becoming destructive, you start feeling bad about yourself, that's when you got to watch it a bit.
I think what I do, I learned to take, the competition and turn it into how can I create, how can I be better?
More value.
Yeah, and not look at it, because if I look at competition, well, someone has to lose for me to win.
No, that's the worst.
And that's not success.
And our business, it really doesn't reward that.
No, it doesn't.
Your paycheck is a reflection of how many people you're helping. You know, so.
But, Eric's was interesting. I've worked with leaders in the past where they were in competition with their group.
Oh, it happens every day right now.
Yeah.
I spend so much time coaching. How do I deal with my upline that is constantly sabotaging my business when they're making money on me? Or vice versa. There's a lot of petty stuff, and usually it's really old. It comes from when they were 6 years old, got pushed down in the playground, or somebody said to them, you know, and they got threatened by somebody else's performance at some stage in their life, and they're acting out, and they don't even know why they're doing it.
No, they don't.
It's the frog and the scorpion. You know, they sting because they sting. They just don't even know why.
Yeah.
You have more money now than you'll need for your life. Why do you keep working?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is, like I said, to see more people make that transformation, see more people get to where it is that they want to go. And I serve as a point of contact, of inspiration to those individuals.
Yeah, you're an example of what's possible.
Yes. As leaders, we always have to be an example. There is no, I've reached the top, because there is no top. You know, there is no top. What you think is the top right now, when you get there, there's going to be another level that you can actually go to. And
then when you mention that, it's like, I get inspired by the Tony Robbins or the Richard Bransons or like the Elon Musks or the Jeff Bezoses. When I think about those people, I go, wow, am I playing small? Wow, am I playing just in the little tiny baby leagues?
Right.
I think if there's anything, any part of a challenge inside of network marketing is we're all thinking too small.
Absolutely.
We're all like, you know, I remember when 6 figures in network marketing was the holy grail.
You were a god.
You were a 6-figure earner.
A year.
Whoa. And then 7 figures became the deal.
Oh, we never even saw you if you made 7 figures.
And today, 7 figures a month is becoming the deal. It's happening around the world. And most people are like, no. You know, they're hearing this conversation and going, shut up, that's not possible.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
So anyway, I'm trying to expand my mind and get around people that think bigger than I do anytime I can. If I can find somebody who thinks bigger, I'm going to spend as much time as I can spend with them because I need that stretch.
Yeah.
You know, I need to like, okay, let's swing harder. Let's do something bigger.
What I did with that, Eric, because you want to be around those people. What I started to do was, even if I wasn't around them, even though I wanted to be, I started setting goals that were much bigger than the industry that I'm playing in. So my goals are much bigger than what a compensation plan can pay me.
You're talking about Michael Jordan, being a fan of Michael Jordan. One of my favorite quotes he ever made is, the reason why I'm successful is my expectations of myself are bigger than any coach has ever had for me my whole life.
Period.
And I went, okay, don't rise to the expectations of others. Surpass that.
Yeah.
You need to double your goals, double them again, double them again.
Yeah.
And
my goal right now is $1 million a day.
Really? Just outrageous, out of the top. Why not?
Why not?
I love that.
And it's happening.
I love that.
It is happening right now. Everything is conspiring to get me to $1 million a day.
Yeah.
And the compensation can't do that. It'll be a part of it.
Yeah.
But the compensation plan can't do that.
Yeah, right.
But the other avenues and other opportunities that are opening up right now that are making that happen. So
yeah. How about that? What's been your biggest challenge in building up your career? You're 16 years in. You started very young. You got a lot of career left. I mean, in another 20 years, you'll be my age.
Wow.
So think
you
about
look good,
it.
man.
That's crazy stuff.
Wow. You look good.
So yeah, thank you. You're very kind.
And you got pink pants on.
Well, I got pink pants. What's been your biggest challenge? I mean, if you had to, I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
And I want you, maybe even describe it in detail. Give me a dark day.
Yeah.
You know, a bad situation, and that you had to figure out how to overcome.
Yeah. It was for me. It was patience. It was patience, because I was still
how
wrestling.
to temper the hunger.
Yeah, I was still wrestling with, why is it not happening? I'm doing everything my upline's telling me to do. I'm going to every meeting. I'm reading every book. I don't miss conference calls, right? I'm at every major event. I'm promoting for the events. I'm doing everything you tell me to do, but it's not working. And it was that fight of being patient to allow time to work for me. You know what I mean? And once I got over that, and it actually happened in an instant.
Urgency with patience,
yes,
right?
Yes, and it happened in an instance. I'll never forget, went to go do a home meeting. This is when I was in a travel company. Went to go do a home meeting and took my dad's car. And this car had a mind of its own. Sometimes it would decide not to start. So I'm leaving the meeting and I'm praying, walking to the car like, please start. Don't do this to me now. Because I know these people are going to be walking out and they're going to see me trying to start this Malibu. And I go in, put the key in the ignition, turn it doesn't start. And it doesn't start for 2 hours. I'm literally sitting there. And that was my enough is enough moment where I said, okay, I'm done with this. And I made a phone call. And here's what happened. I made a phone call to someone that had the results that I was looking for. Because see, I was working, but I wasn't working around anyone that had the results that I could really glean from. Once that happened, that's when everything really took off for me. Because now I could be patient because I could see. Yep. I could see the end result physically. It wasn't just a mental picture anymore. You need the mental picture, but now there's a physical manifestation of what's possible. And it just gave me that drive to keep going and keep going. And 18 months, less than 2 years, I was a millionaire. I
had so many of those moments of that's it.
Yeah, disgust.
I'm just over it.
Yeah.
And getting mad is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Anger is important sometimes. To get mad at the situation and say, I'm tired, I'm not going to live like this anymore. Just not doing it.
Very true.
I'm going to do what I need to do. And one of the things that helped me with patience, and it's really weird, it's the sick part of my personality, okay? I'm working in building, and I would see a leader would leave. Well, oh, that's interesting. And they'd go to another company, they bash your company, or they do whatever they're going to do, whatever they do, but I'd stay. Okay, and keep going, and another leader would leave. Or I'd go to every event, and there's some people who wouldn't go to the next one, and I would go. And I kind of got this feeling of, I'm going to outlast all of them.
Wow.
Let them go. I'm going to be the one standing with an empire. Let them go. Let them do what they're going to do. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Fine. Who's next? Who's next going to leave?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. I think it built that character in you.
It just made me like go, I'm Iron Man. I'm Cal Ripken Jr. I'm never going to miss a game ever.
Yeah.
And if I'm still standing 32 years later, guess what? I'll have outlasted the world. And that's okay. I might not have out-earned them all, but I will have built a career.
Right.
I will have built an income. But that whole thing of, I've had it, I'm not going to live like this, man, so many moments.
I hope the listeners have a moment like that. 'Cause that's when your life changes.
Yeah, it was like...
Day of disgust.
Yep. Not anymore. You know, when you finally you walk away from your excuses and say it's on me. I've got a million of them, but I remember one in particular. I needed a leg to do a certain thing in order for me to hit a rank that I've been shooting for a long time. And I got I'm living in Minneapolis, and I have a hot prospect in Columbus, Ohio. And me and my mentor, John Joyce, got in a car and we drove down there. We spent 4 or 5 days there. We signed up like 25 people. We built this big team, big volume, everything's done. And I'm like, oh, finally. We're driving back. I have a pager at the time. He pages me, pull over to the side of the road. He said, we've all decided not to do it. We've canceled all of our orders. We're out. And I'm just so depressed. And then I said, you know what? No, that's on me. If I need one person that much, I'm never going to need one person that much ever again. I'm never going to need one team to do a certain. I'm not going to need one leg in order. I'm going to have all of them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm done living on the edge. I want to go way over the lines. You know,
Yeah.
so I have a million of those different things. What are you most proud of? I mean, you know, sometimes it's easy for us to brag about, you know, but really and truly, when you look back at this, so you know what? Yeah, network marketing is great for me. Yes, I'm grateful. Yes, my mentors were this, and yes, but this thing, I did.
Right.
If I wasn't here, this thing wouldn't have happened. What's something that you're proud of?
I'm most proud of the relationships that I've had in the last 16 years. That's what I'm most proud about.
So describe what those mean.
I cherish that the most. Just people knowing that I genuinely cared about
that you're
their
a good
success.
friend, or
Yeah, great friends, great acquaintances, people that have been with me and maybe have moved on, but we still have a great relationship. I think your legacy as a leader is that. I don't think it's so much about how much money you've made. I think it's about the relationships that you've built over the last 10,
Impact.
15, 20 years,
Contribution.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm proud of who I am to my family. I'm someone that they can count on, someone that they rely on. You know, my parents are not together anymore. So my mother, who has been there for me every step of the way, I'm glad that in her 60s, she doesn't have to worry about anything. Right. My niece, she doesn't have to worry about anything. I've set, my children, they don't have to worry about it. I've set things up in such a way that the Imonitie name will live on. I'm very, very proud of that.
Good for you.
Very, very proud of that.
Are you a reader?
I'm a listener.
Listener.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a listener.
So of like books on audiobooks?
Books and audios, yeah. I hear it all the time. Leaders are readers. I get.
No, but that's okay.
audiobooks.
It's information, however you get it. So you're a listener. So give me, a handful of books that you've listened to that have made an impact on you.
I have studied two things in this industry: belief and leadership. That's it. Whatever would increase my belief system, and whatever would increase my capacity to lead. And so, with belief, it's Magic of Believing. It's Think and Grow Rich. It's The Science of Getting Rich. It's The Stranger's Secret. I would say those are the main ones. Anything Bob Proctor. Yeah. And then on leadership, obviously John C. Maxwell. Two books that have really made a huge difference: Developing the Leader Within You, and then Developing Leaders Around You. Yeah. Those are the two books on leadership that I would say have made a huge difference for me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of mission statement for your life?
Yeah.
What is it?
Actually, it's in my wallet. It's actually in my notepad there.
Where is it?
It's the blue. Yeah, it's the blue folder.
Can you grab the blue folder?
Yeah, it's to positively impact the lives of over 1 billion people.
To positively impact the lives of over 1 billion people.
Yeah, with my voice and my appearance.
Your voice and your appearance. I will tell you. I mean, I've told you about this already. It's like you got the like every day you walk out of a GQ photo shoot or something. Hand that over.
Yeah, I carry it with me. Thank you. I carry it with me everywhere that I go. Yep, it's in my wallet. Yep, it's on my index card. Yep, right there. Absolutely. I've had this check written out for $1 billion. I've had this with me now for 5 years.
Wow. So you wrote a check to yourself for $1 billion.
Yeah. I have Bob sign the back of it.
Check that out. Bob Proctor signed the back. Did you get that from like Jim Carrey doing his thing?
Not just
$10 million?
Yeah, that and The Secret. Yeah, if I could trace it back to watching that in 2008, and I started it with the dollar bill, changing it to 100,000, and it happened. And did it with $1 million. I've done it with 5. I've done it with 20. Now I'm doing it with 50.
So you recommend that people do the same?
Oh, absolutely.
Write a check to themselves?
Yeah. Absolutely.
put their mission statement, laminate it,
Yeah.
carry it with them.
Absolutely. You have to. You have to write your vision, and you have to see it.
Most
Every
people don't
day.
think you have to.
Oh, I think you have to.
Yeah,
You're only going to move in the direction of what you're looking at.
right.
And the world is going to give you a vision. They're going to tell you a whole bunch of things that are happening. And if that's all you're seeing, then that's all you're attracting in your life. So I don't, I pay more attention to where I'm going versus where I am right now. I'm grateful for where I am right now,
Right.
but I'm living.
Future vision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
So people out there listening to this or watching it, they'd like to have what you have, the ability to have income choices, options, contribution into other people's lives, the ability to impact the world,
Yeah.
to not worry, to not stress, to not wonder how they're going to take care of something or what happens if somebody gets sick or any of those types of things. What advice do you have for them?
Biggest thing I'll tell them is take the focus off of you. When I took the focus off of David and started really, really genuinely focus on who could I help, that's when things changed for me. Because now it removes the anxiety. Another word for anxiety is selfishness. When you have anxiety about a goal, if you're impatient about a goal, something you want to achieve, who are you thinking about? You're thinking about yourself. But in your company, there is a particular rank that if you focus on just that rank, developing many people at that rank, you'll hit every rank that you want to hit.
Yeah, don't need to worry about
There's
it.
I've looked at a lot of compensation plans, and there's always one that I can point out and say, okay, that's where I would focus my energy. So I would pour my edification there. I would pour all my belief into that particular rank to develop as many people there. And I know if I have a certain amount of people at this rank, it's going to create this rank. So it goes back to Zig Ziglar, help enough people get what they want and you'll have everything that you want. And once I got that down packed, I don't worry about my goals. They're already done. Once I wrote them down, they're already done.
Love it. David Imonitie.
You got it.
Imonitie.
You got it.
I'm going to get it forever.
Yeah.
I got it now. As soon as you said knee,
Yeah.
I was
The
good.
knee helps, yeah.
Imonitie. Thank you for your contribution to the profession. I know the world owes you a debt of gratitude for what you've done already, but they don't even know it, but they owe you a debt of gratitude for what you're going to do.
Amen.
What you're going to do in the future is going to dwarf what you've done so far. I'm excited to watch it.
I receive
I'm
it.
excited to be your friend.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you got some value, make sure you share this with a friend. Somebody who might enjoy it as well.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
All right.